I'll say it. I'm a Grok convert. And I don't say it lightly. Grok 4.5 is a huge deal. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand how to use Grok 4.5 with Hermes to act as almost this AI co-founder for you. We break down everything for you every step of the way. And the people that stick around to the end of this episode, I believe, will be able to outperform 99% of people on this planet. Grok 4.5, I didn't think it was a big deal, but it is a big deal. And by the end of this episode, I think you'll be a convert too. Enjoy the episode. Nick from Orgo back on the pod. He's my agent guy. I had to bring you back on, Nick, because I'm seeing a lot of buzz hype around Grok 4.5. Nick, by the end of the episode, what are people going to learn?
I'm going to teach you everything there is to know about why Grok 4.5 is the best model to be running inside of something like Hermes or OpenClaw today. And the real big unlock here is to treat it like a genuine co-founder, something that has access to all your tools, capabilities, so on and so forth, and stop, being so shy about what AI can do. When you give a tool like Hermes and you run it with Grok, and it's so, it just wants to reach for every tool and actually go out and do things for you. That's the big unlock. And a lot of people, they're going to experience for the first time what that feels like with Grok 4.5, just because of how fast, cheap, and accessible it is to everybody. So yeah, I'm excited to get this in the hands of everyone.
Okay. So, walk me through that a little bit. Why is this Grok 4.5 release so big? And why should people care?
So the biggest thing with Grok, the reason why it's such a kind of viral moment right now is because we've had intelligent models since, Opus 4.5 came out. And in a lot of ways, the release of something like Opus 4.5 from Anthropic back in December and January, that was what led to the Claude bot, the OpenClaw moment. That model capability unlocked something with these harnesses to be able to use tools for these AI agents that before was really not possible. And now with Grok 4.5, you have that insane level of intelligence of something like Opus 4.8 today, one of the most advanced models from Anthropic, but also you have it at a fraction of the cost, and then at a fraction of the time that it would usually take for it to complete a task. This model is insanely fast, and it just unlocks a new user experience for something like OpenClaw or Hermes. It really makes it feel like it's a brand new, fresh product just because of how capable it is. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest breakthrough with Grok 4.5. And then of course, all in the same week, we have now Meta just came out with their Spark 1.1 model, and GPT 5.6 Sol came out, and I've tested all of them. And I think that they're all great. They have their benefits. For instance, GPT is a lot better at computer use tasks, but still today, to this day, and I guess in the last 48 hours, I haven't been sleeping much. Grok 4.5 is just my workhorse. And so I just think that everyone should just be plugging this into their current stack, connecting it to their tools, and seeing what it could do.
So on this Fig Gem, what am I looking at exactly?
Yeah. So here, I'm just kind of trying to demonstrate. A lot of people, when they think of something like Hermes or OpenClaw, the first place that their mind goes to is automation and just I could be hands off and things are just going to be solved for me. And I think that's great and that's fine and all, but I actually think it's the wrong frame of mind. And let me tell you why. I think with automations, we've had automations for a while now, even pre-AI, we've been able to automate tasks and create kind of workflows and deterministic pipelines of things that could be automated, quote unquote. But to me, that's not the big unlock of something like Hermes and OpenClaw. To me, the unlock is I genuinely feel like I have an AI co-founder who has access to all the different tools that matter to me and all the different context and all the just everything that would make a co-founder great, in terms of capability. That's what Hermes today, my Hermes, has access to. His name is Dewey. And Dewey has his own computer, his own email, his own phone number, his own debit card, of course, his Obsidian vault. And I think people need to stop being so shy about the tools that they're giving their agent, because the minute you give it more of these tools and connectors and capabilities, that's when the magic really comes out. And then a model release like this, 4.5 Grok, it really just takes everything to the next level. And overnight, your whole stack just got 10x'd. So, someone listening to this, maybe they buy this. They're like, okay, Grok 4.5, it's the bee's knees. This is how I should be using it. Can you give some examples? Like, can you show, how someone could actually be utilizing Grok 4.5 and use it in this particular way? For sure. Yeah. We can just like walk through how you might be able to use this as like, your side by side companion. So first and foremost, when you're setting up Hermes, like obviously I'm a co-founder of Orgo, we give you a cloud computer to install Hermes or OpenClaw inside of, and we just make it really simple to get up and going with building out these AI agents. And so this is Dewey's computer here in Orgo, and this is entirely operated by my Hermes agent, and he lives inside of here. And what I'm gonna do, for instance, is I have my terminal here on my computer that I can message Dewey. And first things first, I'll tell him to spin up a new dashboard so we can kind of see all the configurations and tools that he has access to. So give me one sec. Let me just connect to him. I'm going to say spin up your Hermes dashboard on your computer. And I can share this over here. So this is my terminal on my local computer. And I'll zoom in real quick. This is my terminal on my local computer. I'm just telling my Hermes agent Dewey to spin up his dashboard on his computer for the Hermes agent local dashboard. And we'll be able to see it on his computer here. And so one of the big unlocks, one of the things I want to demonstrate in this video is when you give your Hermes agent access to all these tools and connectors, and you have a model like Grok 4.5 with its insane speed running underneath and powering it, like I'm going to show you all of the cool different demos and use cases. For instance, content idea generation, thumbnail creation, finding viral startup ideas or your content ideas. You can see here it pulled up its dashboard here, and I'll maximize this and make this a big screen here. But yeah, all of the different cool use cases that you can do when you really give it access to all these tools. You can see here, I have a bunch of different MCPs, plugins, everything installed. This is like my stack. So I can kind of walk through first and foremost what that looks like, and then dive into, like a kind of side-by-side, me and my Hermes Grok 4.5 co-founder.
Let's do that. Let's go deeper.
So the first thing that I do with every agent, I set it up on Orgo. I give it an Orgo computer so it can do this, it can pull things up for me, and I can see it. And I connect it to all my tools. So the first tool that I love...
And by the way, I know you're a co-founder of Orgo, but if, there's Orgo, and if they didn't, what's the alternative to Orgo? Just setting it up on a local machine, or how should people think about it?
Yeah, you can set it up on your local machine. I mean, I don't like doing that with Hermes or OpenClaw, because the minute you turn your computer off, all of a sudden your agent is off. You can't text it. So you can set it up on other cloud providers. There's companies like Hostinger or Hertzner. I'm obviously biased, but I think we really do make the simplest, easiest way to spin it up. You can see here we have a template option, and we just have a template out of the box to spin up a Hermes, OpenClaw, Claude Code, and then build your own templates. I have my own template, like my Nix stack, which has all of my connectors. And by the way, I'll include this in I'll give this to everyone to have access to, so they can spin up an Orgo template using my stack, and everything that I'm going to talk about today, you don't have to configure it yourself. You'll just be able to use my stack and spin up a template in Orgo. So yeah, bunch of options out there for kind of where these agents live. And the biggest thing is I just love the ability to tell my Hermes agent, my Dewey, hey, spin up a new computer with a Hermes agent inside of it, configured with Grok 4.5, and it'll do that in the same workspace. Should I show you that? Should I show you that?
For sure.
Let me show you. So if I tell Dewey here, hey, spin up in your Minions workspace in Orgo a new computer with Hermes installed and Grok 4.5 powering it as the model. And because my agent lives inside of an Orgo computer, it'll be able to spin up a new Orgo computer with Hermes already installed and everything configured. So yeah, like when you're using something like Orgo and you're setting up agents and AI employees for other businesses, for instance, like I've been on a call with a customer who wants a new agent spun up for a certain use case, and I'll just text my agent to do it right then and there, and it'll build it out for me. And you're going to see here, this is a great use case of like the sheer grittiness of Grok 4.5 and just like how it's like, it's one thing for a model to be fast, but it's another thing for it to be fast and thorough. And there it goes. So it spun up a new computer, Hermes Grok 4.5. Boom. This is a fresh computer and it installed Hermes inside of it. And we're going to wait and see, what it's saying. Okay, box is up, installing Hermes, injecting the API key, pinning Grok as the model. Like, it's insane. It's so cool.
The other thing is, from what I understand, it's also relatively cheap. Am I right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It is. Here's the paradox of this, Greg. This is what's fascinating. Truly, like it's not entirely intuitive or obvious that this might be the case, but when you have a model like Grok 4.5 and it's like, whoa, this is like a tenth of the cost of something like Fable. And it's like, oh, this is like 10x, like literally 10 to 15x faster than something like Fable at completing a task. And then you think like that's going to save a lot of money. And it does. But then what ends up happening is you're able to do so much more work. And it's not like you're just going to stop at what you would have accomplished with Fable. If what you were to accomplish with Fable would have taken you 8 hours and you do it in 1 hour with Grok, it's not like for the next 7 hours, you're just not going to do anything. You're just going to do more work in that next 7 hours. So then you're going to spend more money. So for me, I got the $300 a month Super Grok plan. And I think I'm at like, let me see, I can see it right here. I'm at 24% left. I literally got this the minute Grok 4.5 came out. I'm at 24% left already. So, I mean, I'm burning through a lot of tokens, but I think it's worth it.
You're a self-proclaimed token maxer.
I am a self-proclaimed, but look, I show no loyalty to any lab. Okay, I have them all. I have the Codex, I have the Claude, I have Perplexity, I have Grok, and so when I tell you that this model is great and that I recommend it, it's an unbiased position. Like, I just think that it's such a big unlock and I want everyone to have access to that. And so I'm going to advocate for that, you know? Mm-hmm. So let's see here. Okay. So the new Minions Hermes box is live on Grok 4.5. It spun it all up. And so now when I'm here inside of Orgo, inside of this computer, I can actually connect to this the same way I connected to my Dewey. I'm just going to SSH into this computer. I can spin up a new terminal. I can spin up a new terminal, connect to that, run Hermes. And now here we are. So now this is the new Hermes agent that Dewey just spun up. And I can say, hi, testing. And let's see. Hi, I'm here. You see how fast that is? And I'll say just open Chrome just to show that like it has its own computer here. It's going to open Chrome. And it's Chrome is installed, launching it. So it should open it up. Let's see.
I will say, I love a model that's fast, like because you get into the flow, right? You're like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, and it just feels so nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That is like, for me, like with Grok, the big unlock exactly was that. Like, I got so used to like GPT 5.5 to like sending off a task and letting it run in the cloud, like asynchronously, just like, okay, I come back to it 10 minutes later. But with Grok, I'm like, I have to be so hands-on and I'm just like going back and forth. I'm like, I need to up my aptitude, you know? So there it goes. It spun that up and everything's ready to go. So that's really cool. And you know what? Okay, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to tell it, let's also, so I don't know if you saw this, Greg, with the GPT 5.6 Soul. Did you get a chance to play with that?
I did.
So I want to spin up another Hermes agent with GPT 5.6 Soul as the model running it. And that way we can compare the two maybe on some tasks in this video as well. So I'll have Dewey do that as well. Oh, I sent that into the wrong computer. Let me stop. This is the Grok. This is not Dewey. Let me tell it to the Dewey agent.
You have so many computers, it's what a privileged life you live.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm managing over at this point on Orgo. I think there's around like 200 computers that I have in my fleet of just agents. And so when I tell you like a stack that I'm using, it's me in the trenches. I'm deploying these things into businesses. There it goes. There's Hermes Soul. You can see it over here on the left over here. And so I've broken a lot of things. I've gotten things to work. So when I recommend something, it's from the genuine of my heart. I don't want you guys to fail, and I'm looking out for you. So so yeah. So we'll have a Hermes spin up here for 5.6 Soul, so we can kind of compare a couple of the use cases here. But to get back to kind of that stack, that's the computer element. And the next thing is obviously giving it an email, giving it a phone number, giving it a debit card and the knowledge base and memory layer. Having it connect to all these tools, super valuable, super important. And then all of your apps. And there's a lot of great tools for that. For connecting it to our apps, I use this company called Composio, and they make it really easy to just one click connect to all these different tools, and then you give just the Composio connector to your Hermes agent, and it has access to all of it. So let's see here. So now we have the Hermes Soul. I'm going to connect to this computer, copy this, spin up a new terminal here, SSH into that, run Hermes. And here's GPT 5.6 Soul. I'll tell it to open up Chrome to make sure it's working. And we'll let it cook on that. Mm-hmm. So back here to Dewey, we have it connected to all these different tools and connectors. And you can see here, I'll just kind of talk real quick to what it's connected to. I won't go through how to set it all up because honestly, you could just tell your agent, I want to set up with all this stuff, and it'll be really easy. It'll help you do that. But I use agent card, agent mail, agent phone, and Composio. And now I've met with all these people. I live here in the Bay, and we all get together. We have dinner, come by offices. And so these are all incredible startups, incredible people. So I really like the teams, but I also just really love their products. And I like to think that we're the agent mafia. And the tools are very, the same way we use Gmail for us, our agents need their own email. The same way I might use a Twilio for spinning up a phone number for somebody on our team. I'm going to use agent phone to give my agent its phone, so on and so forth. I have my idea browser connector here. That's going to be super useful for coming up with startup ideas and building them out with taste. I use this tool called Latitude. This is an observability kind of tool that allows me to see when my agent is failing, or it'll detect when I'm frustrated talking to my agent, and then it'll give me like a kind of a signal to say, hey, we should add this capability or fix this use case for your agent. And Latitude is great for that. It's like an observability thing. And then I also have it connected to like things like Linear, Orgo. Ooh, have you used the X API, the XMCP?
I haven't, but heard good things. Tell me about it.
The XMCP is, I think it's pretty recent. I think they came out with it a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I used it before jumping on the show just now with you. I was like, hey, what should me and Greg, what's a good viral Twitter, what's going viral on Twitter right now? What's some good content ideas that we can jam on? And so it's really good at picking up trends. And then also just looking at your bookmarks, looking at if you want it to give it access to your direct messages. fun story. I had this person reach out to me, and they had a big following in kind of like the personal finance space. And we were just DMing back and forth on X. And he's like, yeah, I would like to jump on a call. I'd like to build out an agent for like personal finance. And I just told Dewey to create a Hermes agent for his use case based off of the conversation I was having with him on Twitter. And I didn't have to paste anything. It just read my DMs with him, read the context, built the computer, built the agent. And he's been texting it now and playing with it the last 2 days with the Grok 4.5, which he's spoiled because that's his first experience of Hermes is Grok 4.5. And he's like texting me like, oh my God, dude, like this is insane. I've never had anything like this. Is like, wow. And it's true. It's insane. And then lastly, vidIQ. Have you used vidIQ?
I'm actually an investor in vidIQ.
Wow.
Yeah, I invested in vidIQ in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun story for a separate pod of the ups and downs and of that business. Almost ran out of money, ended up, kind of pivoting. But I use vidIQ. If I even wasn't an investor, like I'm a daily active user of vidIQ just because I create content on YouTube sometimes, as you know.
Yep.
And it's helpful to see tags, to see how things are performing and stuff like that.
I love it. Yeah, it's a great product. I discovered it it tells you what videos are outliers. So for people that don't know, vidIQ, you can download like the extension. You can see I have it here in the top right corner. And when you're on YouTube, it'll tell you what videos are like outlier videos. And so for my Hermes agent, Dewey, that's useful because I can ask him like, hey, what are the top outliers, for my channel, but also for other like people in my niche. And then I can kind of like spin off of that as a inspiration to make just infinite content ideas. And once again, Grok 4.5, really, really good at this. So yeah, that's pretty much my stack right here. Long story short, give it access to every tool that you can imagine being useful for you, and don't be shy about it. And then, now we can kind of like get into sort of the use cases and build out process of what it's capable of doing now.
Let's do it.
So here I have a few terminals. So this first terminal is Dewey. And obviously he spun up these computers here and he's telling that for us. But now what I want to do is I just want to start a new session here. I'll do /new and I'll say, I want to build, let's treat him like a co-founder, like genuinely. Let's say I want to build a new startup idea. I have the idea browser MCP. I have the X MCP, and I have other search tools for grounding your response in the right context. Come up with like maybe 10 startup ideas using all these tools that we could build out today. And so I'm just going to send this off to Grok, and I will even show just like here, like I know sometimes maybe watching me type and enter off a prompt into my agent, maybe that's boring for some people, but look at how the use of the tools, how explorative it is. This is really my point. And it's that it's going to use every tool available to it. And so when you're wanting to experience the powerfulness, the potential of a model, this is really how you let it shine, is giving it access to everything and seeing how it explores that and how resourceful it is and how it ties it all together. And so,
by the way, I haven't talked about Idea Browser MCP on this podcast really. But what it is, people know I'm a co-founder in Idea Browser. I haven't talked about it, but it's probably one of the most slept on MCPs that exist. It basically just levels up your LLM so that whatever idea you build, it has what people call taste. It has, because it's trained on, thousands of startup ideas, data points, landing pages that work, landing pages that don't work, apps that work, and stuff like that. So that was the idea around the Idea Browser MCP for people interested.
I love it. It's honestly like my main way of how I interface with Idea Browser, just because with every tool that I use, like the interfaces are for me, all of the interfaces are kind of disappearing, even for like using Orgo. Like I just text my agent and my agent's connected to all the tools. And so if you guys haven't heard, like that's this big saying going around that like SaaS is, when people say SaaS is dead, software as a service is dead, or they say interfaces are dead, they're not dead. Like I'm paying for more software than I've ever paid for in my life because of agents. It's just that the way in which we interact with them and the way in which we interface with them is just changing. And yeah, it's kind of coming down to just texting your agent. And I think in the next couple months, it's going to be a lot of advancements with voice use cases. I think we've yet to have the Claudebot OpenClaw moment for voice. And when we do, I think it'll be beautiful because we're going to be able to just go out on a walk all day and talk to our agents, and they're going to be doing stuff for us in the cloud on Orgo or whatever. And I mean, I think that's just like, that's so cool to me. So, yeah, we have Idea Browser being used here. And yeah, Grok is just going crazy. He's just going through all these tools. So while he's doing that, this is Dewey that's doing all of this for kind of searching for these startup ideas. While Dewey's doing that, I can come over here to the Hermes that's running the GPT 5.6 Soul, and I'll show that terminal here. You can see that we had him open up Chrome just as a test to see if it's working. And so what I want to do is we have Hermes running Soul here, and we have Grok 4.5 running Hermes here. And these are both fresh Hermes instances. And I would like to compare them in terms of how they could perform at like maybe a similar task so people can see for themselves, just how they stack up against each other. What's a good use case that we should do, Greg, of like just a simple task that might be simple enough for both of them to give a shot at?
Maybe doing a one pager, like say we're building a startup idea, but we want a one pager, business, almost like a mini deck, right? In a one page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just let's say like, let's build a simple one pager landing page for a startup idea. And just use, and I'll say, open it up in your browser so I can see it. And I'm going to copy this prompt and we're going to send it off to, the Grok 4.5 and the Soul GPT 5.6 Soul. We're going to send it off to them at the same time. So I'm going to paste that here. And I'm going to hit enter and go back here, hit enter. And so now let's see in Orgo, I'll go from a kind of a more project view here, and let's see what they build. And who knows, maybe Soul will be faster. OpenAI, they did improve the speed at which GPT 5.6 Soul and Terra and Luna, those are the new names of their models. They really improved the speed a lot. But I still think that Grok just, the edge is in the fact that it's faster, but it's more cost efficient. Like you'll run out pretty quickly now with the new Codex models. They're very capable, but for whatever reason, they're a little more token hungry. And that's one thing about Grok is it's very efficient with its tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. This one. Yeah. Grok finished already. You can see that. Wow. And Soul is not done yet, but
that was crazy. That was like 40 seconds,
for a full website. And look, it's like good design, meetings that write themselves into momentum.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That is beautiful. I mean, part of that is the Idea Browser MCP and stuff like that. But the fact that it was able to do that so quickly is remarkable.
So insane.
Yeah.
And Soul is still cooking, but is it done? Built and opened.
All
okay,
right.
it says it's up. See, this is what I mean. I don't know. It says it's open. I don't see it open. Okay, here it is. Okay.
That's pretty nice.
Wow, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Yeah. So you can't go wrong with these two new models. I mean, they're getting so good. But
I based on these two landing pages, I will say I I do prefer the Grok 4.5 landing page from a design and copy perspective, but they're both pretty excellent.
Yeah. I mean, how crazy is that in under a minute, we just built, like 2 years ago, this would be like, people would be like scared. Like this is like magic.
Yeah. And it's funny because we're all getting a little numb to it. Right? Like, so I think for me, this moment is like I'm not numb anymore. Like I'm seeing, I was numb for a while, but like looking at this, I'm like, this isn't. It's crazy how quick it is, because if you can create these loops for your business, you could really, really be making a lot of progress daily.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So let's see the idea browser. Okay. So let's see. So Dewey said, all right, he checked XAI, he checked idea browser, he checked Composio using the Exa search tool and the web search and Perplexity search. These are all the tools I have connected in Composio. And so then using all of these market signals, like truly scraping everything, here's top 10 startup ideas that you can start building today. Trade Call, a voice receptionist that books failed service jobs. So it's like a voice agent for plumbers, HVAC, electricians. Okay, I like that. Next one, MCP Gateway, stricture access control. Audit for agent MCP servers. It scans MCP servers and is like a security scanner. Interesting. A managed AI employee operating system for agencies using Orgo and Hermes, but productizing it. Okay, this is actually a really good idea. You could build like a template for a specific vertical, like HVAC, for instance, on Orgo of, okay, here's the Hermes agent with the right prompts and skills and tools and connectors out of the box, spins up with one click with a template that you can build. And you can go after a whole vertical and just like, instead of trying to be like a Perplexity computer for $200 a month who's trying to service a whole prosumer market, you can go to HVAC companies for $5K a month and serve them really, really well. And they'll happily pay that money because you've solved all the problems for them up front, whereas Perplexity computer doesn't do that for them up front. And yeah, you could do that with a managed AI employee kind of operating system. Genius.
By the way, if anyone's interested in that idea, I'm doing a whole 60-minute free podcast episode. It's coming out in the next 2 weeks explaining how to actually build that idea. So, like, comment, and subscribe for more of this in your feed.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I mean, I think that this is like the AI agency space for like creating these managed employees. It reminds me so much of marketing agencies in like 2013, 2014 who learned Facebook ads, Google paid ads. And I mean, it was just like such a great opportunity to be early on something like that. This is happening all over again, 2026, with managing AI employees for businesses and making like an agency out of it. So a lot of good ideas here. Let's see if it kind of consolidated onto one. Okay. Oh, it did. It said if the goal is cash and a demo and to stack leverage and not just a pure venture kind of theater, like go raise money, something that if you wanted to start tomorrow, bootstrapped and start making money, it said the best one is a managed AI employee on Orgo and Hermes. And that's the first one it made. Okay. So very good. Let's trust it. Should we trust it?
Let's.
So then let's say for a next step, let's pick one of the top three. Okay. Let's do the managed AI employee top option. What's the next step? Perhaps a landing page. Can you open it up in your browser after you build it? So we obviously had these. Quick recap, we had Hermes running Sol GPT 5.6, kind of create a website for us just to demonstrate. We had the same on a fresh instance of Hermes Grok 4.5 to demonstrate its landing page capabilities. Now I'm going to have Dewey, who has all my context and more kind of understanding of all my tools and me and everything. We're going to have him do the same for this AI employee business. And let's see kind of the website that he spins up. And then I can show some really cool things too of like, okay, you build a website for this AI employee managed agency business. What else do you need? Well, you need customers. You need to find a way to get customers. How do you do that? I recommend content. Okay, how do I make content? Well, let's ask Dewey to do what he just did for finding a viral startup idea. Let's do that for viral YouTube content ideas. Can you make the transcript? Can you make the thumbnail? Can you publish it for me? Can I just text you on Telegram and have you publish it? And yes, by the way, it can do all these things. So I just think like, wow, what a time. So let's see here. Okay. So he's using some skills here. You see, he's using the popular web design skills, Claude design skills. Oh my gosh. It's calling it Desk Crew. Very cool. Okay. We'll hang tight on this. Mm-hmm. So while he's cooking on that, I kind of talked through some of the tools here, some of the stack in terms of trusting your AI co-founder, running Grok 4.5. So when you're working with these agents, you see how I'm kind of like on one session right now. I'm just using a terminal that's connected to this Orgo computer, and I'm going back and forth with it. But like you and I were talking about, you don't have to just stop there. You can spin up multiple of these and have multiple sessions going on at the same time with Dewey or your Hermes agent. And when you do that, you can obviously like do so much more at the same time, and you're not restricted to just one session. And so that I kind of just like using the terminal because of that. I can spin up like 5 different terminals. So I could have one terminal of Dewey working on the landing page, the next terminal of Dewey working on finding those content ideas we talked about, the next terminal of Dewey creating the thumbnail, so on and so forth. So he's cooking here. I think he's just like doing something with his display. Let's see. I'm going to say, Dewey, man, I don't see the computer display. Did you break it? Please fix it. And he will. Trust me. This happens sometimes. These agents, they'll almost break themselves sometimes, but they also know how to fix themselves too, which is kind of fascinating. So I'll tell them that.
Dewey, man. I'm disappointed in you.
Dewey, man. Yeah. So let's let him cook on that. I want to show too, like, let me pull up here. I'm going to pull up my Telegram Dewey, and maybe I'll show like this. Okay. So here I have also Telegram just to show you, like, obviously when you talk to your Hermes agent, you could talk to it through your terminal. You could talk to it on Telegram. I even have Dewey on iMessage, and so I can text Dewey. And so here is like a Telegram session with Dewey. I can hit /new. And I like Telegram for like a lot of exchanging of videos or images with Dewey. It's just super easy to like drag and drop in an image and send it to Dewey and have him send me something back. But I just want to say, like, all right, can you create a viral thumbnail for YouTube for a managed AI employee business that I'm starting? Use my face based on my YouTube content, and make sure to use inspiration from vidIQ connector for the thumbnail. And I'll just send this off.
So what that's doing is it's looking at outlier YouTube videos, thumbnails, and it's basically saying, okay, this is a nice thumbnail. I think it can work in this niche with this type of content, and hopefully it creates a good thumbnail, right?
Exactly. And finds the outliers, maps everything together, by the way, like, once again, emphasizing the point of just connecting all your tools, because it has access to vidIQ. It can find the outliers. And then because it has access to Composio, and Composio is connected to my YouTube, it knows to look at my YouTube. And it's just like, context is king. Give the agent all the context it needs. It's going to piece it together beautifully, and it'll be able to give you something tailored just for you. So it's cooking there. Let's go back to Dewey's screen. You can see he fixed himself. And he made a website here. And let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look. Hire an AI employee with a real desk, not another chatbot. And so he built this whole website. Okay. And yeah, here we go. Oh, wow. Here he goes. He even included the pricing. So like a pilot for 14 days, $1,500 one time, $2,500 a month for a managed seat, $6,500 a month for 3 seats. Book a pilot. Even has like the lead qualification process here. I mean,
super smart.
Yeah, it's insane. So like when I say, you know, have Grok 4.5 and Hermes be your co-founder, like I do mean it, you know. This is awesome. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see in Telegram. It's cooking here. It's saying, okay, it found some good content ideas it's going to recommend. So we'll let it cook on that. But let's go back here to Dewey. He built the landing page. And now I'm going to ask him, use the idea browser MCP to tell me what to do next. Because the idea browser MCP, it also, not only does it tell you ideas, but people don't realize you could use it actually to help you build beyond that. Like, okay, yeah, I have the idea for a startup, but what happens after I build a website? Well, I need to build the messaging or the lead magnet or the offer, and it has access to be able to do all of that. So I'll just ask it to do that.
And by the way, that's like sort of the bigger trend that we're seeing now with the internet is these LLMs are obviously amazing, but they do lack like the vertical specific context and stuff like that. So you're seeing MCPs, you know, sort of you have the Mobbin MCP for designs. You're seeing the idea browser for business building MCP. You're seeing just MCP after MCP. And that's, by the way, a whole opportunity for startup ideas. Like what do we need context in that you could be building an MCP in?
Exactly. Yeah. I think you made like an awesome post about like building startups for agents. Obviously, like something we're trying to do is build these computers for agents. And then like you see all these tools that we're using for our agent, like agent mail, agent phone. Like, yeah. This is just such a cool opportunity of if you're someone who wants to build something like, something maybe more kind of like venture backable. If that's your thing, I mean, you can go after some really ambitious ideas and just build them for agents. I think Moltbook was a good example. When Claudebot came out, someone created Moltbook, which is like a social media for these OpenClaw agents, and they got acquired by Meta within like a week. So anything that we find valuable as humans, there's probably a startup idea for it for agents. So Dewey says, I use the idea browser MCP, and it says it did this inside of idea browser. Oh, so it created a project URL inside of idea browser, and it submitted the idea. It did a full idea research. Oh, wow. So it's actually telling me the different things that it can do inside of idea browser. It's telling me my fit for this idea based off of my profile, which I love. And so it's like, okay, look, you already have a landing page, and the idea browser's skill graph still says that you need to crystallize your offer and prove delivery and then scale the funnel. So it's like, first things first, let's pick one employee role for the first pilot today. Do not sell AI employees in general. Sell one weekly artifact. I love this. This is really cool. So best first role for Nick, my call, is to do a client reporting employee for agencies. So it's saying like weekly visible deliverable, live demoable on Orgo, maps to agency pane, so on and so forth. So I guess like let's just copy that and let's tell it. Okay, let's tell it. I'll paste that here. Let's do this. Let's build the reporting demo on Orgo, headed so that we can see it visually, and proceed with everything we need to do. I'll just tell that. So we'll be able to kind of like watch it cook here. And then let's go back to Telegram. Look at this.
That's
like,
fire.
I didn't tell Dewey. I didn't give him an image or anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I mean. Like, this is all Grok 4.5, by the way. Like, give it access to all the different tools you're using, and it will be so resourceful in how it pieces that together. And this is a really good thumbnail. And it gave me a few of them. It gave me a few options. Okay, let's see what it says here. Here's a viral style thumbnail pack for your managed AI employee offer. It's my face, my existing channel style, and then it looked at outlier videos in my niche. And then it used some design rules from vidIQ for like how to make a good thumbnail. I mean, this is so cool. This is awesome. This is really good. Okay, so then what should we ask it next? We have a video thumbnail. We have it building our website, building out the offer, building out the agent that we're going to sell to businesses. Maybe we should ask it, let's just get crazy. Let's start a new session and let's ask it just to show to everybody like how far you could take this. Let's come up with a email outreach campaign. I want to do a managed AI employee business, and I need to do a cold email outreach to customers. Can you come up with the entire outreach email sequence and put it together in a Google Doc for me to take a look at and approve?
And that's the thing that people miss is a lot of people are using these models just for the building piece, but using these models like 4.5 as like a marketing co-founder too, right? As someone who's going to help you actually get customers to the thing you're building is equally, if not more important than if your landing page is going to look really nice.
Right. Like imagine the person who's arbitraging this right now for like, okay, yeah, posting content, but also gathering leads, reaching out to them relentlessly.
Yes.
Like giving them like, what did it build here? Let's see what Dewey said here. He's already done with this. Market insight is ready. Pulling it, attaching the research and focusing Chrome on the report. So he made a market insight. Wow. Oh, wow. This is crazy. He's just building. Oh my gosh. Like relentlessly building all of these different things. So this is a market insight on home services, and it's kind of giving insights, I'm assuming, just to demonstrate to your clients of, kind of the return that they would get with the services. So very cool. And yeah, he's just cooking on this. And let's see what he says. So landing updated to pilot locked copy with see live report demo, call to action. So then it gives me market signals that reinforce this pilot. It gives me the whole status, next steps, market insights, full idea research is in progress. It's going to attach that when it's done. And here's what it wants me to do next. Watch the report, confirm I see it, book 3 design partner calls this week using outreach.md, which is something that Idea Browser helped it make, and that whole outreach system. And then on the call, run the 4-minute script in pilot.md, and then do 3 to 8 pilots. And then when the Idea Browser research finishes, I'll attach it and I'll run a competitive analysis and money model. And so sure enough, Dewey here is like, do you want me to personalize the 5 outreach emails? Which we have it doing here in Telegram, but I'll tell it here as well. Yeah, let's do it. Proceed. Do you see how fast this is, by the way? Like, this is a genuinely different experience with Grok 4.5 because like with GPT 5.5, literally just a month ago, it would take like sometimes like 30 minutes for a task. It was very frustrating for a lot of even our clients of like, why is it taking so long? And so like, this is just like so much faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like bang, 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 bang. Like things are happening, things are moving.
It feels like a Ferrari. It's like, yeah, it's just, and when you use these different models, you do get a feel of how they drive. And I think like Grok is really just a great balance of all of that.
So would you say we went from like a bicycle to a Ferrari, or would you say we went from like a Toyota Camry to a Ferrari?
Oh, we definitely went from a Toyota. Yeah, I would say like a Toyota Camry to a Ferrari because like, we've had, for a few months now, these models have been pretty damn good at like Hermes and OpenClaw and just like, using tools, but they would just take forever, eat a lot of tokens, be super expensive. So it'd be like an expensive Toyota. And now it's a cheap Ferrari. Like what a dream outcome. And guys, also this is another thing too, is like, this is only going to get cheaper and cheaper, faster and faster, smarter and smarter. So what that means for you is like, the sooner you can start taking advantage of it and just implementing everything you do, like just putting in the work right now to build your agent and get that stack and just configure it to your, use case and needs, means that tomorrow, overnight, if Grok comes out with 4.7 or Grok 5.0 or whatever, you get an instant, immediate value add overnight to your business, to your agent. You didn't have to do anything. You're just riding the wave. So I just like encourage everyone, like, get set up with these agents and just ride the wave. There's a huge tailwind. All right. So we have Dewey here. He made a full cold email outreach sequence. He gives me the Google Doc. I open it up, cold email outreach sequence, ICP, offer, the whole sequence architecture, full email sequence. So this looks great. Wow, this looks awesome. So when I come here, I come back to the Dewey that I'm in the terminal with, it is making this email outreach campaign. It has all this stuff here. I can just give it this link to the doc it sent me from Telegram and tell it I would like to do this. Let's do this one. And I'll just give it that link and let it take a look at that. But this is insane. And so it was able to give me a link in my Google Docs. It created this in my Google Docs because I connected it to Google Docs using something like Composio, and it had access to that. So awesome. But I think that's like a good enough example here for most people to kind of get the gist of like, guys, you can literally have it build your website, build your offer, build your email outreach, give it an email via agent mail and have it do the email outreach. Give it a phone number and have it call on a lead. Like, it's insane. And you could do it all today. I have how much my Grok subscription is. I still have 19% left. I started at 25% at the beginning of this call. And we're doing so many different things. It's like intelligence is available on the tap for very cheap. For $200 a month, you could have an AI employee co-founder workhorse just like doing everything for you. So I'm excited to see, what everyone is able to do with that.
There you have it. 4.5. It's a big deal. Nick, thank you so much for coming, sharing how to use 4.5 like an AI co-founder. We'll include links in the show notes, in the description for some of the things we spoke about. I know we talked about a lot of things. We'll include that there. Nick, is there anything you want to leave people with?
I think just guys, we live in a world that is literally changing every single day with the new tools that are available to us and the things that we're able to accomplish and the things we're able to do. And it's more clear to me than ever that the people who can just be the idea guy, have the ambition and the dream that you want to have this outcome, you want to build this thing, you want to do something, and you can do it with AI. And that gap between idea to implementation is shrinking down to nothing. And you can take so much advantage of that today. There's literally there's nothing that's stopping you from taking advantage of that and putting that to use for you in your business and what you want to accomplish. So just use these tools, learn them, be creative, come up with cool ideas, and just bring them into reality, because it's possible today to do that instantly. So,
amen, brother. Nick, thank you so much. Everyone, go build some stuff. Turn off YouTube, turn off this podcast, and just get your hands dirty. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.